The Ship of Fools, Episode 16, Baby on Board. The Discovery Commander Christopher Banning entered his quarters and heard the faint sound of breathing, soft, rhythmic, and definitely not his own. For a moment he stood still, eyes closed, trying to determine whether he was dreaming or if Snipes had once again sleep-wandered into his quarters. But the breathing was too gentle, too small. He opened his eyes. A baby lay curled in the center of his bunk. A baby boy, sleeping peacefully, wrapped in a blanket woven from shimmering silver fibers. Banning stared at him for a full 10 seconds before whispering, "No, absolutely not." The baby yawned, stretched tiny arms, and blinked up at him with enormous luminous eyes. Banning whispered again, "No." The baby giggled. Banning groaned. The crew responds. Moxie arrived first, summoned by Banning's panicked call. She stepped into the room, saw the baby, and immediately melted. "Oh, my stars," she breathed. "He's perfect." "He's in my bunk," Banning said. Moxie scooped the baby up with practiced ease. "He's adorable." "He's in my bunk." She ignored him, bouncing the child gently. "Look at his little face." Banning pointed. "Moxie, my bunk!" Snipes burst in next, hair wild, goggles askew. "Aurora said there was an emergency. Is something on fire? Did something explode? He froze. "Is that a baby?" "Yes," Banning said. "In my bunk." Snipes rushed forward, eyes wide. "He's so small. And squishy. And small." Moxie cooed. "He's perfect." Banning threw his hands up. "Why is no one concerned about the fact that a baby materialized in my bed?" Aurora flickered into view. "Commander, the infant's biometric readings are unusual." "Define unusual," Banning said. "He is not human," Aurora replied. Snipes gasped. "Alien baby." Moxie gasped. "I'm doing alien baby dress up." Banning groaned. "Alien baby eviction. I want my bunk back." The bonding begins. Despite Banning's protests, the baby, quickly nicknamed Little Star by Moxie, became the center of the ship's attention. Moxie raided the storage lockers for fabric scraps and emergency blankets, fashioning tiny outfits with surprising skill. She dressed him as a miniature starship captain, a tiny dragon rider, a pint-sized engineer, and once, to Banning's horror, as a baby version of Banning himself. Snipes, meanwhile, took it upon himself to teach the child engineering fundamentals, which mostly involved showing him tools and making sound effects. "This," Snipes said proudly, holding up a wrench, "is a torque calibrator. Can you say torque?" The baby drooled on it. "Close enough." Aurora monitored the child constantly, fascinated by his physiology. "His neural activity is advanced," she reported. "Far beyond human infant levels." Banning scowled. "Great. A genius alien baby. In my bunk." But even he wasn't immune. One night, after a long shift, he found the baby awake and fussing. Moxie and Snipes were asleep. Aurora dimmed her lights. Banning sighed, picked the child up, and rocked him gently. The baby quieted instantly, curling against him. Banning whispered, "You're lucky you're cute." The baby reached up and touched his face, and something in Banning's chest softened. The question of family. Over the next few days, the ship changed. Moxie hummed lullabies while she worked. Snipes baby-proofed the engine room, poorly. Aurora projected soothing lights in the corridors. Even the maintenance bots moved more gently, as though aware of their tiny passenger. The crew found themselves talking about things they'd never discussed before. Moxie admitted she'd always wanted a family, but never found the right moment. Snipes confessed he'd been afraid he'd be a terrible father. Too chaotic, too distracted. Banning said nothing at first, but later, Quietly, he admitted to Aurora that he'd never imagined himself as a parent. Yet holding the baby felt strangely right. For the first time in a long time, the ship felt like a home. And then the alarms sounded. The arrival. A beam of shimmering light cut through the bridge, and 6 armored soldiers materialized, tall, imposing, clad in obsidian armor etched with glowing runes. Their helmets resembled the faces of predatory birds, and their weapons hummed with lethal energy. The baby, held in Moxie's arms, giggled. The lead soldier stepped forward. "We have come for the child." Banning moved between them and Moxie. "Not happening." The soldier's visor glowed. "You do not understand. That infant is—" "He's ours," Snipes said, stepping beside Banning. Moxie tightened her hold on the baby. "We're not giving him up." The soldiers raised their weapons. Aurora's voice sharpened. "Commander, they are preparing to fire." Banning braced himself. "Then we fight. No one's taking this baby." The baby clapped. The revelation. Before the soldiers could attack, the baby wriggled out of Moxie's arms, floated upward, and landed gently on the floor. Then he stood. Not like a toddler, not like a child, like a man. His body shimmered, stretching, expanding, reshaping. The silver blanket dissolved into a cloak of starlight. His eyes glowed with ancient intelligence. His voice, when he spoke, was deep and resonant. "Enough." The soldiers dropped to one knee. Banning's jaw dropped. "What?" The man turned to him. "Commander Banning, Moxie, Snipes, Aurora, thank you for your kindness." Moxie whispered, "You're not a baby." "No," he said gently. "I am King Valor of the Astral Dominion." Snipes squeaked. "You were a baby yesterday." "I chose to be," Valor said. "I was born into power, into duty, into expectation. I never knew childhood, never knew innocence, never knew this." He looked at them with genuine warmth. "You gave me what my world never could." Banning swallowed. "Then why leave?" Valor's expression darkened. "Because my people would never allow their king to be a child. They would drag me back to the throne, to war, to responsibility." The lead soldier spoke. "Your Majesty, your absence has thrown the Dominion into chaos. We must return." Valor sighed. "I know." He turned to the crew. "I thank you. For the laughter, for the care, for the memories I will carry into eternity." Moxie's eyes filled with tears. "We'll miss you." Snipes sniffled. "You were the best baby I ever met." Banning nodded. "Take care of yourself, Your Majesty." Valor smiled. "And you, Commander, you would make a fine father someday." Banning choked. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves." Valor laughed, a warm, echoing sound, and stepped into the beam of light. The soldiers vanished with him. The ship fell silent. Aftermath. The ship felt emptier than it had in days. Moxie folded the tiny outfits she'd made and stored them away. Snipes stared at the tools he'd shown the baby, wondering if Valor remembered any of it. Banning sat on his bunk, finally his again, and found a small silver charm resting on the pillow. A star, Valor's symbol. Aurora spoke softly. "Commander, are you all right?" Banning closed his hand around the charm. "Yeah, I think so." He looked around the room, suddenly aware of how quiet it was. "Just feels different." Aurora flickered beside him. "He changed you." Banning nodded. "He changed all of us." Outside, the stars drifted by, endless, cold, and beautiful. Inside, the PP-608 carried a warmth that hadn't been there before. a memory, a promise, a reminder of what they could be. The ship flew on. End of episode 16. To be continued.